Hi. So I really just need to rant right now because it's been a day and I'm filled with rage. So, also I can't rant to any of my friends or family because my mom's not here. All my friends are busy and one of them is involved in this, so I can't rant to her about her. And my boyfriend's at work, so I'm just having a mental breakdown. Love that. So I went to class this morning and there's this woman in my class who is literally like 45 because she's like coming back to college. Woohoo, go you. She never shows up for class, okay? This is like our fourth or fifth class, and she has shown up to one. Like, she even missed the first class. Like, who does that? Anyways, she missed the first class. She comes in today. It's her second class that she's been there. Like, she tried to come last week, but then she left. Like, didn't even stay. Like, she came in right before the teacher got there and then left before the teacher got there. So, like, bitch, you weren't even there. Anyways, so I come into class today. She's already sitting there, and I'm like, dope, whatever. Like, I don't have any beef with her, or I didn't. I get to class, I sit down, she's like, hey, how are you? I'm like, good, how are you? And she's like, I'm good, do you like my hair? She had dyed her hair. I was like, yeah, dude, it's dope, like, love that. Looks great. I sit down, and I'm unpacking my bag. I have my Swell bottle just sitting on my desk. That has nothing to do with it, but I'm setting the scene, okay? I was sitting there trying to get prepared for the class, and I pull out my notebook. And this woman looks at me and she goes, oh, is there any class? Like, is there any notes that I missed from last class? And I was like, let me check. So it was in this notebook, but we'll get to that. So I'm flipping through my little notebook, and I'm like, oh, girl. I'm like, oh, you actually did miss stuff. If you want to, like, take pictures of it, that's cool. So I ripped this out, and I handed it to her. And she was like, okay, awesome, sounds great. And then she says, hey, do you have any extra time after class so that you can run over to the media center with me and I can actually, like, copy it, like, print it, you know? And I was like, I actually don't have time because I have to go to work. I actually don't have to go to work. And you might be like, well, you're a piece of shit for lying. But I don't handle confrontation well. So when she asked me if I had time, I knew I don't want to hang out with this woman. Like, I don't want to go to the media center. I want to go home and work on my homework because that's what I need to be doing because I procrastinated. And so I'm like, no, I can't. I have to go to work right after. And she was like, okay, do you care if I borrow your whole notebook? And she, like, goes to grab it, like, literally, like, grabs my notebook from my desk. And she's like, can I just borrow this and bring it back to you on Thursday? Here's the news, sisters. The homework assignment that I need this for is due on Thursday, okay? So I was like, actually, no, you can't do that. I handled confrontation for once. And I was like, actually, no, like, I really need it for my homework, but I will take pictures of it and text it to you because she already gave me her number, like, the first class. So I was like, dope, cool. I'll send it to you, sister. And then she was like, okay, but she was like, can I just have this one, like, the one page from last week now? That way I can, like, start copying it, and then I'll just give it to you after class. And I was like, yeah, sure, go ahead. Because I knew she wasn't going to pay attention to the class anyway. So I ripped this page out. I hand it to her, and I'm like, here you go. This is all chapter 2, Freud, whatever. I hand her this bullshit. And then the class, like, starts. My teacher comes in. She's starting the class. We're watching a video today about Freud and his life. It's a whole documentary, you know? Love that. This girl is snoozing through the whole class. I swear, she's snoring. Every once in a while, she'll wake up and she'll go, I'm like, woman, stop. And she also smelled so bad. And I literally just wanted to, like, because I'm having a mental breakdown. So after I, like, made sure, like, I controlled myself and had some self-control not to strangle this woman. Ow, that actually did hurt my throat. After I, like, managed to gain the self-control not to strangle this woman, she stopped snoring, she woke up, whatever. But I was still, like, very bothered, and, like, just get some deodorant if you smell that bad. Anywho, finding my zen. She has the attendance sheet in front of her because the girl, so like the classroom's been split into two parts, you know, like aisle way down the middle. The girl on the other side handed her the attendance sheet and she just started snoozing with the attendance sheet right in front of her. And so I couldn't sign attendance until like way too long after the attendance was already taken. Then I had to like raise my hand and be like, I don't know where the attendance sheet is, even though I knew it was right there. But like I said, I can't handle confrontation. So then, yeah, sister, this isn't over. So then, this woman starts hacking along again, and the guy in front of me turns around, and he's like, here you go, here's a cough drop. And she's like, okay, but then she put the cough drop in, and then she goes straight to sleep. And I'm like, first of all, how? Second of all, why? Like, if you're paying $500 for a class, like, maybe, like, pay attention to the class. Anyways, she puts the cough drop in her mouth, and then she, actually, she was just, like a little Buddha. Not a Buddha, I don't know. But she starts sleeping again, and I'm like, I'm worried, and I can't even focus on the class anymore, because I'm like, oh my gosh, this woman is going to choke on the cough drop. And guess what happens? She choked on the cough drop, but not like full hack along. Like, I didn't have to like do the Heimlich or anything. She was like, and I was just like, oh my god. And then the video ends, right? And the teacher starts walking around. She's like teaching her little class. She's talking about Freud and his life and subconscious and unconscious and like sexual theory and blah blah blah. And cocaine, because like Freud loves coke, and woo. Anyways, class ends, right? And this woman packs up all her stuff, and she's about to bolt out the door with my notes. So me being the unconfrontational bitch I am, I tried to handle confrontation today, but she literally packed up all her stuff and she like runs out the door, and I still had to pack up all my stuff. So I just leave my stuff in the class, and I told my teacher, I was like, hey, I'll be right back. And I bolted after this lady. I was like, you have my paper. And she was like, what paper? And I was like, must have been a good sleep if you don't recall anything else. But I was like, you have my notes. I really need them back. We have homework due on Thursday. That's the next class. It's the Tuesday, Thursday class. I need my notes because I procrastinated. And she was like, well, that's why I need the notes. It's for the homework. So you can't have it. These are my notes! What do you mean I can't have my notes? These are mine. Obviously, I got them back because the sister didn't back down. But she was like, no, you can't have the notes. You can't have the notes because I need them for my homework. What do you fucking mean? You haven't showed up to any of the classes except for the first class, which literally doesn't even count as a class. And she didn't even show up at the first class. It was like the second class, but like this all doesn't even count. Anyways, so she's like, I really need them, so whatever. And I was just like, I'll send you a picture. Like, I have your number. And she's like, but will you really? And I was like, maybe not if you're gonna be a fucking asshole. I didn't say that, but I was just like, yeah, like I'll send them. I just need my notes for my homework because I took the notes. And then she has the audacity. So she hands me these notes, right? And then she has the audacity to look at me and go, do you have the notes from today's class? You were in the class too. If you actually wanted the notes, if you actually want to succeed, if you actually want good freaking grades, don't sleep in class. Read the notes. Read the notes that I gave you before class. Read your book. Pay attention in class. Take your own fucking notes. So then she's like, do you have the notes? I saw you writing in class today. And I was like, yeah, I do. And she was like, okay, well, can I borrow them and just like give them back to you on Thursday? And I said no, because you were in class. And she was like, well, I just really need the notes. Like, I just struggle a lot with taking notes in class. She just talks way too fast. And I was like, and I've never been like this bitchy. But I was like, if you actually wanted the notes, you should have just paid attention in class and like took them yourself. And then she was like, well, fuck. She was like, well, I just needed the notes from last class as well, though. And I was like, okay, well, I gave them to you before class, so why didn't you like read them or take a picture of them or something? And she was just like, oh, well, I was just very busy. Pay attention to class, come to class, don't bother me. Thank you, bye-bye.